Hello, I'm Kelly Kotanidis and welcome to Online Business from Scratch, where I'm taking you behind the scenes as I build my new online business from scratch to a full-time income, while making sure it is a great fit for my travelling homeschooling life. I'll be walking you through everything I do and why, so you can follow along and build your own flexible online business quickly and efficiently. Now, this is the update for day 113 of my new online business, and it's 14 days on from my last update. And first, I want to have a bit of a brag because, as the saying goes, how do you know if someone has run a marathon? Don't worry, they'll tell you. So, yes, I ran a marathon yesterday, the Alexander the Great Marathon in Thessaloniki in Greece, with my husband and my 15-year-old son. And 42.2 kilometers is a really, really long way, hey? It was easily the best organised race we've done. They even had regular portaloos, which any runner will tell you is really essential but often overlooked. And there were drummers and good food and lots of aid stations. And even though I was slower than I planned because I have been overtraining and doing too many races overall as we travel around Europe, it was a really good day. Even if I am paying for it now, but at least I can sit and write this, and our apartment is only on the first floor. It's not too many stairs to get up. But that is just one of my big things for the past 2 weeks. I also did some big business things, and it definitely feels like it's getting real now because I have actual regular paying customers, which is awesome. So I've done 2 business idea reviews in the last couple of weeks. So I mentioned having the idea for the idea review in episode 11, and I talked about implementing it in episode 13. And as a quick recap, I have the free Business Idea Blitz course, and when I set it up, I offered a paid idea review within it. So people can send me their idea and I go over it and give feedback asynchronously via Telegram. And it's actually a lot of fun. It's really interesting to see people's ideas and to dig into areas I might not know a lot about and brainstorm for them, and I just really like doing it overall. Right now, it is not very profitable. I've spent at least 2 or 3 hours on each one, so the hourly rate is pretty woeful, but like I said, it's fun and I'll get faster at them, and it's a great way to just start making money while also getting better at what I do. And I think even if you do plan on only doing online courses or similar in the future, one-to-one work is a really good way to start. It's invaluable learning for creating your more hands-off projects, and it really is the quickest way to make money from the start. Now, speaking of the quickest way to make money, I published a post called The Quickest Way to Start an Online Business, with 4 fictional but totally realistic examples of how people with different topics and ideas could create 4 different businesses very quickly. So please check that out if you haven't read it yet. The link will be in the show notes. It's really all about cutting the fluff that most people get stuck on, like websites. You don't actually need a website from day one. You can build quite a lot of a business before you even start thinking about a website and colours and all that kind of stuff. So please go and check that guide out if all the steps you think you need to do are overwhelming you and stopping you from even starting. You will get some great ideas on how to get started much more quickly. So last episode, I talked about launching the podcast and starting evergreen emails. So I have regular weekly tasks now, which is a little bit scary. I have published 2 more podcast episodes and I have another ready to release next week. I'm batching 3 at a time at the moment. So that means I draft 3, then I record 3, then I edit 3, and then I tend to make the blog post, etc. one by one each week. So I need to start doing the next 3 this week to try to stay ahead with the weekly schedule. I haven't committed publicly to that weekly schedule because I know my brain and the way I operate. And as soon as I said, okay, everyone, new podcast dropping every Monday morning, I would want to break that schedule. It is a sometimes frustrating part of my rather neurospicy brain, but I can work around it. So I would like to get one up per week until I work my way through my huge progress doc and catch up to where I actually am with my business. I also wrote 2 more evergreen emails for my new sequence. I'm using Liz Wilcox's email marketing membership templates to spark ideas, and that really helps a lot with the whole blank page paralysis thing. So she provides a new template each week and has a massive, massive back library, and each template has a video walkthrough and a finished example. So mine usually don't end up looking much like hers. I've never been one for just taking a template, whacking my details and sending it on, but it's a great start for me and I highly recommend it if you would like to start your own evergreen email sequence. The link to that will also be in the show notes. I also did a podcast interview for Our Offbeat Life about family travel and working on the road, and that was pretty fun. I will link that in the show notes too. I had the typical travel issue in that I set up the bedroom of our apartment in Larissa in Greece, and it was all perfect. My lighting and my sound was great. It was all wonderful, and I'm looking at it going, yeah, I'm on top of this stuff. I'm like a pro now. And then when the afternoon and my appointment time rolled around, the internet speed dropped so much that I couldn't do it in there. So I had to pick up everything while David waited patiently, running out to the dining room, set it up there really quickly, shoo the family into the bedroom. And so then I had crappy lighting and a bland background, and I was all flustered, but I did it. And I think I did okay. Probably not my absolute best, but okay. And hey, I'm my own worst critic, so I'm sure no one else will even notice the stuff that I pick on. Except actually for when we went off script and I said, yes, people need to do 2 things. And I detailed the first thing and then I completely forgot what the second one was when I got to it. But hey, it happens. We can all relate, right? We're not trying to be perfect robots here who always get everything right. We are just people doing our best. And I know I find that so much more relatable in other people, so hopefully it's the same for me too. And as one small extra, I also made myself an email signature for Gmail with a photo, name, website, podcast links, all that stuff. So I received an email with a nice signature from another blogger and thought, I need one of those too. I haven't done that yet. So I found a template and I whacked my details in and put it on. And so that's just another small set and forget way of telling people what I do, of keeping my site and my podcast front and center in their mind, and removing the need for them to go and Google it if I email them and they want to have a look at it. And even though it's small, continuing to layer on all these small methods, it really does add up over time. So as I mentioned near the start, after I humble bragged about running a marathon, of course, I have been doing more business idea reviews since I originally wrote this, and I still really enjoy them. So if you are feeling unsure of your own business idea, or if you've started something and it's feeling a bit generic, please go and check out the Business Idea Review. It will be linked in the show notes. I do ask that people do the Business Idea Blitz first, because otherwise you'll just be paying me to go through the steps with you when you can easily do those first steps yourself. And then we can talk about your idea and come up with something that you absolutely love that will be really effective and stand out. And it is really ridiculously cheap right now while I'm working on the best ways to do all of this. So you will be getting a huge amount of value for your small cost, but I will be increasing the price soon because, as I mentioned, this was my try it out, see if I like it price. But to make it sustainable for me, it has to go up. So please go and check that out. The link is in the show notes to the Business Idea Blitz, and I would love to apply my brain to your business idea and help you come up with some unique and memorable approaches that are fun and interesting for you to do as well. So thank you so much for listening, and I will be back next week, well, hopefully next week if I stick to the weekly schedule, with the latest update. So I'll see you then.